Hello, Paula. You are from Portugal. You're a very experienced master trainer, and I'm very happy that we have this interview together. And would you just introduce yourself and tell us and everyone who is watching a little bit about your experience in NLP and hypnosis and all the areas of coaching that you cover?
Okay, hello, Carl. It's very, very nice to be here. It's a pleasure. Yes, I'm from Portugal, although I was born in Mozambique in the tropics. I've been working in this area for a long time, not always as a trainer, as a master trainer. So I started my research on this area in 2000, more or less, when I worked with a Canadian company in a big, big project all over the world. It was called Connected Intelligence. And what I found when I worked with them is that people are the most important thing in all our interactions. So I really loved to work with them. They are great human beings, at least the ones that I met and the ones I worked with. And since then, I was totally overwhelmed by human beings and by the changes that we can see and not see in people, by these aspects that, okay, when you are working with people and you give them the same information, the same opportunities, the same challenges, and they react so differently. So although I come from, I have a degree in law, imagine, then I had an MBA in management, well, imagine again, and then I started to work in the training area, in the education area, and I did a few MBAs. Well, I'm addicted to learning, you know. So I don't know what's happening, but I'm addicted to learning. I like to learn everything about everything, and all aspects. I'm researching on something and I find something else, so I go and research on that too. So this never stops, and I hope it will never stop. So I started to work with these areas, with the personal development area and personal consciousness in 2000, and I didn't stop. So as I told you, I was working in big multinational area, in human resources area, so I already used most of these techniques like NLP techniques and coaching. I practiced coaching since I worked with them in Canada in 2000, but I only started to be a trainer in 2016. And it was really nice because I had a kind of an epiphany, you know, as usual. So I had a very stressful life, big pressure, big responsibilities. And one day I had to do a big surgery, an eye surgery. So I had to be totally laid down for a month. And imagine what that month was. During that month, I went through periods, very difficult and challenging periods. And when I finished that month, I was, I think, a new person with new perspectives of life and new objectives. So I decided to focus on what makes my heart sing. And this is all about people and personal development. So I founded my own company. I was CEO of other companies with other people, but I founded Expand for expansion. And here I am. Here I am.
Expanding for humanity.
Expanding for humanity. You know what? This is a project that I have with my assistants. I have lots of assistants. Here in Portugal, we are used to, whenever we run a training, we invite other trainers as us to be with us and to assist us. And also I at least invite my participants to become assistants, junior assistants in future groups, you know. So for you to have an idea, now I have a class with 30 participants and 10 assistants. So my participants get a really individual help, you know. They have always someone taking care of each of them in a very specific way. So they get feedback for their personal development and their challenges. And I find this a very nice way to be in this area, you know, because it's all about sharing and giving and well, at least that's the way I see it.
This is great. This was the start of our talks that you said this idea of assisting and seeing us a trainer, us as a master trainer, see us a master trainer work and learn from each other, where we were starting to discuss about this. And I said, yeah, oh, this is a founding idea and founding of our associations for in the year 2000. We had integrated NLP trainer and coach training with about 30 participants, plus 11 master trainer from 7 institutes. So one master trainer was giving the weekend, for example, and there were 10 other master trainers sitting inside this training and watching him and having, of course, were there for assisting when he gave when he was working with small groups or something like this. So yes, I know this atmosphere, how creative this is, and when you discuss them with people who have the same qualification like you, they see so much competence that you yourself think, oh, this is normal, but they say, oh no, you were excellent here, or you can so you learn, and this is modeling as well, which is a core concept of NLP.
Yeah, it's a huge growth for all of us, you know as well as I do that we learn a lot from each other. We mainly learn from each other. So I was telling you about Expanding for Humanity. This is a project that we set up, me and my assistants, to bring to the world our best knowledge in our areas. So when COVID started in March, we designed this project, and this project consisted of every week we would run a free masterclass on one of our topics, a topic that passions us, that we are passionate about. So we have been running this program all during COVID time, and people were amazed and astonished, and we had about 200 people in our master classes in the end. It was really amazing. And it went from areas like NLP, for instance, for me, but also leadership, also mindfulness, also generative coaching, things like that. So it was really amazing. And that's this project. I love it a lot, and it's still on our hearts, and we are now designing the second phase of this project.
Wow, this is the second very important topic, learning from each other, and the other thing of humanity, to do something for humanity. Yeah. This is why we developed our 2 new associations of the Mindfulness Association, Inside Me, world, the world inside me. But this is already as well in NLP and coaching and constellation and hypnosis. It's inside me as well. But
everything is inside me.
Yeah. The next big revolution we will have for humanity will be to understand what humanity means, what it means to be human, the miracle of being human. Yeah? This is still missing at the moment. We have a lot of technology. It's unbelievable what's possible now with technologies that you can that you have scissors for the genes to gene editing. Yeah, that you can. This morning I heard in the radio a group of people who think about editing the genes of the trees so that the genes will have send out light at night, so you can instead of using the street light, you have the trees, they will spend light at night.
Whoa.
Possible moment already.
Well, I am a big fan of technology, although I've been using it for a long time. I've run educational institutes and educational institutes with a big with courses in the technological areas. So ever since the internet started, I was involved with this. But also, I think that all this technology and all this information didn't make us better humans, you know. So what I think is that we are now facing a new paradigm, and thanks God.
Yes.
So yeah,
This
information.
is the new challenge.
Yeah,
In
it's a new
order to
challenge.
be able to handle the technological advancements we have, which are really great in the last 200 years, we have so much. We don't have to look all day long for food like we have to do 100,000 years ago. But our brain is still wired, old wired, like things like the brain says, if you find food, eat, for maybe tomorrow there's nothing.
There is no food. Yeah, yeah.
So this is still, the brain is still old kind of wired, yeah. And so the brain is always looking around. Is there a danger around? Yeah, is there
Yeah, survival mode.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is, and today you don't have these dangers that you had 100,000 years ago, and it's just 200 or 300,000 years. It's just a long time for the genes, and only the last 200 years we had these big changes in our civilizations, and our brain still needs time to adapt to it. And I think that the trainings you give, and we, our master trainers, give in NLP and in coaching, they, on one side, they help the brain to adapt to realities that we have now, instead
right.
of sticking to the past. Yeah, we need it. Yeah, and to have new creativity, and as well to deal with such challenges like COVID, for staying in a kind of danger mode. Oh God, yeah, what will happen? Will I have the infection? I mean, of course, be careful, no question about this, but not permanently in this state of feeling fear. Yeah, this is not good for the whole body.
That's right. That's right. It's the negativity bias, right? We have it in our DNA still yet. So the question is, and the challenge is to, yeah, to have conscience that we are still acting like that, and to bring to our consciousness that there is no need for that anymore. So we can breathe, right? We can look to the world, or at the world, in different new ways. And also, I think that this overwhelm of information, this so-called information society, brought to our species the everything. For instance, my generation was the generation in the history of humanity, of mankind, with more to consume. You know, we don't need to run for food or to fight for food anymore. We have big houses, we have cars, we have computers, we have cinemas, we have everything. The problem is that everything didn't calm us down, didn't fulfill us, you know. So what I think is happening now is that the humankind is reaching for that fulfillment, that thing of being human. And so here we go again. Okay, what is it? What is this of being human? Right?
Please tell me a little bit more about your company. I mean, I find this Expand for Humanity. I think it's a great, wonderful name. Yeah, and your experience with your groups when there are many other master trainers or other people sitting in and assisting who had already done the training or whatever, who have a high competence or whatever, and as well, what you shared before we started the interview about that people are holding back a little at the moment in these COVID times, yeah, for they don't know what will happen next, yeah. But those who come are obviously very happy. And
Yes.
tell me a little bit more for you, examples or something about your
Okay, so
company.
let me think. Let me just write a few things, otherwise I will forget. About my company. Well, my company's name is Expand. This Expanding for Humanity is a project we have inside Expand, and it's Expand for expansion. You know, from the inside out. We have three big business areas. So one is coaching. We work with big companies and we do executive and team coaching in those big companies. The other one is training, so certifications and also training in companies, and the other is consulting. We work a lot with a model, which is the Barrett Values Model, which is a model based on values of the companies. So we do processes of organizational change based on the core values of that company. So really amazing things that we are doing. And but in our trainings, and I think that's the most important thing to share now. So ever since COVID started here in Portugal, at least for us, the adjustment was very rapid. We had a big response and quick response to COVID. So in 15 days, we were online with our certifications, and the model that we designed, I think it was really nice. As I told you before, I have worked with a multinational Canadian company in this area, so I knew a few things about designing online training, about didactics, pedagogy, and all that. So I did the adaptation. We did it, and it was really quick, and it was really outstanding. I share with my colleagues, if someone told me 1 year ago, Paula, you will be running NLP online, I would say, no way, NLP, we have to fill it, we have to be there, no way. Well, I don't think like that anymore. My experience was amazing with online training, amazing. Not only my experience, but all my participants' experience. I have really people writing to me about what they experienced during this period, and it was really amazing. People were not, they didn't think we could get so closer and so deep and so profound. But as I tell them, this is just the channel, right? What's important is the humans behind the channel. So that's what makes the difference. In terms of the model we used, so we have a lot of didactical material. For instance, I use my manual are my PowerPoints. I do very detailed PowerPoints, and all my participants receive that, along with a lot of other material. And in our trainings, we have a part in which we are all together in the same room, and when we are speaking about concepts and more general ideas. Also our demos, when we do a demonstration, a live demonstration on a technique, so it's for everyone. And then we put them in breakout rooms, so I have help for technical support and all that. And then they go to breakout rooms. As I told you before, I have one assistant for every 3 participants. So
wow.
it's amazing. So that they practice and they receive immediate feedback on what is wonderful about them, what they can improve. And this is something that they value a lot, our participants. And I think it's a wonderful model, because my participants that are being assistant in these small groups are former practitioners, or people that attended before in one of my trainings. So it's a huge opportunity for them to be doing a certification again in a different logical level, because they are on a different level and they are learning from a different perspective. And also they can share what they already know with people that are just starting. And so this is really what I believe in the work I do. I believe on sharing, and I believe on sharing experiences, sharing knowledge. So this is really what drives me. That's why we have projects like Expanding for Humanity, share what you know with the others and receive back. So this is my way of being in our area, in this area.
Sounds wonderful. I make, since we have developed this mindfulness trainings and positive psychology trainings, I started this buddy systems to have that one participant as another participant, so the 2 participants have homework together, yeah, during the time until they meet next time in the group again. Yeah, they have to do homework that they do together. Yeah, not only one with himself, but in mindfulness, it's easy, like saying, do a random act of kindness, yeah, and they report each other, oh, today my random act of kindness was da 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 da. And it's
That's wonderful.
highly scientifically proven that this has intense impact on the brain and on the well-being. On they can show it on the level of cortisol and serotonin in the bloodstream. That even doing easy or like very easy examples of wishing someone well without this person knowing that you just look at this person and say, oh, wish you health and happiness, and then you look at someone else. This is a change in your inner system. And so a buddy system is for homework where they exchange, I have done this and I have done this today. Do you use any kind of these exercises as well?
Yes, I strongly recommend all my participants to continue. I run a practitioner course, for instance, in 6 months. So each month we give 2 days, a weekend, and this is the way I believe that learning best takes place, when you do it in a more slow motion. And in each period that they are not here in the training, they are strongly invited to be with each other and to practice all the techniques and all the learning that they had. For instance, when we speak about presuppositions of NLP in the beginning of the course. So I asked them before they go away to select 2, 3, or 4, and during that month they are invited to put that filter, the way they see their reality, and share with all of us in WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp group. What are their insights about that? Okay, so it's very important during that month for them to see how things are slowly changing, and to have the feedback of the others too. Say, wow, amazing! It's very nice. Also, they have work in pairs, so they choose each other and they practice some techniques, and they practice it a lot of times. It's not a formal requirement, but I advise them strongly to do this, because you see things once, you do it once or twice, well, you learn a few things, it's information, right? You do it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, so it's experience now, it's in the body, it's totally different. So we have a lot of activities like that during the 6 months. And when people finish the cycle, they say, wow, I'm not the same anymore, thanks God.
I love your approach. I love that you experience yourself in the learning position. And I think if master trainers themselves keep learning, and this is where they can offer this experience on this area and this atmosphere of learning, for they themselves are doing it. This is authentic.
Yeah, that's
it comes
right.
from you. And so this is why I love this idea of our associations, that master trainers who are organized in these associations, that they learn from each other, that they meet each other. So we had world congresses, and we had 3 days online just for the master trainers to learn from each other and with each
That's
other.
right.
And
I totally believe in that. I think that we are all different. We have the same, more or less the same mindsets, but we do things differently. And the way we can learn with each other, if I look to a colleague of mine that is doing, for instance, a change history in a new way, so my way of looking to a change history expands, so I can give more to my participants, and then he can see me and also see new things, and he can bring more to his participants. So it's to give and to receive. That's because I think that each of us, in my world, we don't have competitors, in my model of the world, there is no competition. I think that all of us have a place, and the people that come to us, they come to us because it's us. The people that come to me because it's me, Paula, right? And they come to my colleague Anna because it's Anna. So everything is okay. But Paula and Anna can learn from each other, and they can improve the way that each of us deliver their training, and they can enrich what they do if they share instead of being back, you know. So this is really what I strongly believe, and what I would like to see happening here in our association.
Oh, wow. I love this approach and your energy and how you do it. This expanding for humanity. Yes, a name. Even already the name is wonderful. Yeah. And I think when we look at this whole long history of humankind with 200,000, 300,000 years, then this being in a group, learning in a group together, is this group spirit, yeah, is something that is a little bit getting lost in our society, the group spirit. Yeah? So you have more singles, so all typical family structure have broken, and people feel sometimes very, very lonely in our societies, even so they do on a formal ways their work, but still they feel not connected. And this is what our trainings and what you were talking about, how they work with each other, and it's a time between as well. Yeah? This is what brings connection. And I think our offers that we have in NLP and in coaching and hypnosis is all about how to be connected, that we are connected, and that we can be aware of our being connected. And this gives such a strong energy of, yes, to live.
Of belonging, you know, of belonging, of being here. Yeah, I totally subscribe what you said. That's right. It's all about connection. The work that we do. I can share one of my experiences. This is just a social experience, but it's relevant too. In the practitioner I ran in April, so I had 27 people, I think, or 28, I don't remember. So the whole group, we were working for 6 months, and it was amazing. It was my first experience online. It was really amazing. So I felt that during each month I could feel this, that people were happy, that people were connected, that people were growing together. All this spirit was amazing. And so now comes the human part. So when the course finished, I received a WhatsApp, you know, from one of my participants, and she was saying something like this: Paula, we are here in the middle of COVID, but we want to know each other personally. So we are arranging a dinner in blah, blah, blah. Would you like to join us? I said, of course. So there I was. And it was amazing to see how people were looking at each other and say, oh my God, you're Anna? You're that big? Wow, and you're thinner than I thought. And then they were hugging each other, and it was really, it was like the cherry on the top of the cake, you know. It was really, I was looking at that and said, okay, thanks God for our human devices inside, you know, because this is the perfect match again, you know. This is the perfect match between what we can do online and the way we can also be together as people, as human beings touching each other. So it was quite an experience, really nice.
You come from a background of John Grinder, as much as I remember.
Well, actually, I was with all of them, you know. I told you before, I'm a learning freak.
I'm sure
So
you learned from all of them.
I was with Bandler, Ted James, all of them. But yes, I did my trainers training with Grinder. And I was Grinder's trainer for all this past time until now. And it's very nice also his approach to NLP, and his new code NLP, which is quite an experience. I really love this part of new code NLP. It's all about state. It's all about state choice. And it's all about state choice with no content, which is something very interesting too. So as I usually say, I don't know if I'm Grinder or Bandler or Ted James, and I am Paula with all the learnings that I received through my whole life. So now I put a little bit of everything in what I do. So that's it. But yes, I come from Grinder. Grinder.
This is one of the influences, or one
Yeah,
of
it is.
strong
It is.
influence, yeah. And of course, from what you talked, what you told us about you, it's clear that you work with everyone in the field.
One thing that Grinder did with me once, I will never forget it. Because I used to be mentored by him every year. I was 3 weeks with him in his trainings, and in the end of the day, he would join his assistants, his trainers, and he would give us feedback on what we have been doing during the day. So we would speak for all the people doing the training, and then we would have small groups that we work with, and he was looking at us and to give us feedback. So one day, he joined all of us. We were 24 in the end of the day in a big room, and he would give feedback to everyone. So you were wonderful in this area. You would like to improve in this area. And for me, he didn't say anything for 2, 3, 4 days. So he would pass through me and he would say, "Well done, Paula," and he would continue. Well, in the first days, I was really happy with that. Oh, good. So I'm good. So Grinder says everything is okay. I must be doing something right. But then after 4 or 5 days, I started to get worried because he would have feedback for everyone, not for me. So 7, 8 day, he came to me and he told me something like this: "Paula, aren't you fed up of doing everything so well all the time? Where is your opportunity to growth if you do everything so well? So I have a challenge for you. In the next 4 days, you will have to do everything very bad. So you will have to be the worst trainer of all times. And this is your personal challenge."
I love him. I love him.
He's really a different person. I love him too.
Yeah, yeah. So, Paula, I mean, we come to the end of our discussion, yeah. So, if you would summarize, yeah, the most important things for you regarding your association for expanding for humanity, if you would summarize what's most important for you as a trainer, as an institute that offers, and summarize what you offer, so that everyone knows he can come to join you in NLP and in coaching and whatever you offer. Yeah, maybe you could summarize a little bit.
Okay. So, Carl, now our offers in Expand are mainly in the areas of NLP and coaching. So we do certification with your associations in NLP and coaching nowadays. Okay. And well, I forgot what you asked me more. I get so excited speaking about things that I forgot. So you asked to summarize. Okay,
this is just a
big idea.
Order from John Grinder. Do something wrong. Do something wrong.
Something
Forget
wrong.
something. Yeah. Don't.
That's right.
Perfect.
Do something wrong. Well, I did. I spent those last days doing things wrong, and my participants, I have some participants from Brazil, and they would look at me and say, "Paula, are you crazy? What are you doing? Please explain us. You seem like a crazy girl." So I did a few things wrong. But to summarize our conversation, Carl, to summarize the thing that is most important for me in my work, in my company, it's all about personal growth. Whether we work with people in our certifications, whether we work with big executives, top administrators, it's all about personal growth. It's all about personal consciousness, and it's all about growing together, about sharing love, sharing knowledge, sharing experiences, growing together and constructing a better world, which I think we are doing, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about, creating a better world where we really love and where we expand for humanity. I mean, I love this. Expanding for, and I really think this is the only solution we have, that we expand for humanity, that we understand the miracle of being humans, that we understand the insights, that we understand how our brain works, that we, the deeper areas of who we are, controls our brain and not the brain controls our deeper kind of individuals or our souls, that our souls are more in control and not our brain. Yeah, our brain is wonderful and works perfectly great. It should not be our boss.
That's right, that's right.
So humanity is a big issue, yeah. And I hope that from what we have discussed, that it will be a good impulse for our other 226 master trainers to understand how important it is to join each other and to watch the trainings or to sit in each other's trainings, that this will cultivate, and that you gave this impulse for doing this more. I mean, they are already doing it, but they can do a little bit more. You can always improve.
Yeah. Grow together. Yes, that's it.
I'm very grateful to you for bringing this up as an important topic of our associations, and why we are here to learn from each other and to improve humanity. And even maybe it's not even improvement, it's maybe just the next step of humanity, that after 200 or 300,000 years now, and these technologies that we have developed, that there's a new kind of humanity starting to develop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, so grateful that we had this
Thank you.
discussion. Is there
Thank you
anything
very much.
else you want to mention?
I just want to thank you for this invitation. I love to be here, okay? And I would like to stress out that I'm totally available to anything. If I can contribute in any way, please let me know. You and all my other colleagues, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you.